Hey, they turned the lights back on! This week, Facebook Home, iOS 7, and a major contest. This is the Mobile Nation's Monday Brief. Greetings, mobile delegates. I'm Ashley Esqueda, and you're tuned in to the Mobile Nation's Monday Brief. First off, I'd like to apologize for the show's abrupt ending last week. Since then, HP chose to spin us off into our own company, and then they made the show open source and gave it back to us. So now I guess we're just hoping LG doesn't buy us and put us into a washer-dryer combo at next CES. Speaking of things HP's treated terribly, WebOS is back in the news, or at least WebOS Nation is. Derek unveiled a literal stockpile of WebOS devices on the site last week and decreed that they shall all be given away in an unprecedented extravaganza starting this week. Pixis, Prees, Touchpads, and Touchstones are all in the mix, so if you missed out on the Touchpad fire sale or always wanted a Pre-3, now's your chance to get one. Official contest and giveaway rules will start popping up on WebOSNation.com this week, so head on over if you're interested. Android Central was buzzing last week about Facebook's official event, with many conjectures as to what the social media giant might bring to the table. Well, it wasn't a forked version of Android, but it was something interesting: Facebook Home. Home is technically a launcher and a suite of social apps for Android devices, and it claims to shift the focus of your device from apps to people. At the event, Facebook employees showed off lock screens filled with the adventures of their Facebook friends, and also revealed the HTC First, the first Android phone to have Facebook Home preloaded on it. If you have a different Android phone though and want to get in on the action, Facebook's totally cool with that too, with a slew of devices getting access to Facebook Home on April the 12th. Installing Home is just like any other launcher on the Google Play Store. You just download it and let it launch. You can say always on or just this once. Oh, and FYI, Facebook does in fact plan on introducing advertisements to Home at some point, though they won't be present at launch. So if you'd like to pollute your Android phone with posts from your conspiracy-loving family members, that one friend who can't stop taking pictures of herself, and emo shots of rain with "Forever Alone" typed across them, head over to AndroidCentral.com to see when your phone can install Facebook Home. CrackBerry had some interesting documentation to discuss last week, with the specific BB10.1 changes for the Blackberry Q10 detailed in a document that looks like it's intended for training or internal purposes. If you've been living under a rock or haven't otherwise heard of the Q10, it's the BB10 phone with a quintessential Blackberry physical keyboard. The post is specifically about the Q10 software tweaks, so don't get mad if you read it and you don't see love for your Blackberry Z10. Among the updates, there are some pretty interesting things. Type and Go, which seems to function as a command feature for your universal search bar. Corporate features, including the ability to remove the personal half of balance and just program a Blackberry 10 phone as work or enterprise only, and mnemonic phone dialing for those keyboard-obsessed users. And speaking of keyboard-obsessed, I looked at the comments on this particular article, and it seems to reveal a huge chunk of Z10 owners on CrackBerry.com already prepared to swap devices when the Q10 is released. They are getting their thumbs ready. It's a nice slate of features for the Q10, and CrackBerry.com will be putting them to the test when the phone makes it to their doorstep. Windows Phone Central took some time last week to unbox the Nokia Lumia 520, the highly affordable, cute little Lumia destined for emerging markets. At around $200 off contract, it's worth a look.
It's a pretty nice phone. It was actually pretty slow to boot up at first. I was a little actually concerned about it, especially at the speeds. But now that it's actually up and running, it actually seems okay. As you guys know, if you haven't read my review yet of the 620, head to Windows Phone Central, check it out. It is one of my favorite phones. I just think it looks amazing. Camera's pretty decent on it, great build. And the 522 carries on that tradition, but you can definitely feel it is, a little bit cheaper, but still feels really nice in hand.
Unfortunately for those of us in the US of A, it doesn't look like Nokia has any plans on releasing the 520 on any carriers here. But if you're in a location where the 520 is available, it's a solid little phone that shouldn't be overlooked. I gotta hand it to Nokia. They really know how to make even the most inexpensive model in their Lumia line perform respectably and look totally awesome while doing it. So hit up WPCentral.com to check out the 520 and all of its specs. iMore spent the week talking about a rumor from Daring Fireball's John Gruber that iOS 7's development is behind schedule, and OS X engineers have been pulled off of that project and put onto iOS 7 to help play catch-up. We all know there are some changes happening for iOS behind the walls of Cupertino, specifically since Johnny Ive began heading both hardware and software design as the head of human interface at Apple late last year. Renee Ritchie and John Gruber are both hearing that we'll likely begin to see the end of the texture-rich skeuomorphic UI we're all familiar with. That's not necessarily a bad thing for iOS, cough Game Center, which, according to some critics, needs a hefty dose of visual updating and added functionality to go along with it. While Apple hasn't needed to change as quickly or as drastically as Android, it does seem like it's time for updates to iOS. And now it looks like it's all hands on deck for some iOS changes to start appearing with iOS 7 and moving forward. So we usually see a preview of iOS at WWDC, so I think Apple is putting in those extra hours and bringing those engineers on to ensure they'll have the newest version of iOS ready to show us at Moscone Center this June. That's it for your Mobile Nations Monday Brief. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/mobilenations. Check out our dazzling and informative podcasts at mobilenations.com/shows. And you can follow me on Twitter at Ashley Esqueda. Nations, you have been briefed.